Bros, we had an amazing time raiding enchantment commanders, and despite my statement that I wouldn't veer too hard into aura commanders, people are going bonkers asking for aura commanders. And guess what, man? I get it. Auras are super fun. It's a fair mechanic, a fair archetype. If you win the game with an aura-centered commander, or have a massive impact on the game, or just have fun with it, you feel accomplished. You feel like you're not being abusive or try hard, you're just doing the thing out there and making it happen. And guess what, man? That's what this channel is all about. I built 1 million decks. Auras really scratch that itch. So if you've got an itchy spot, subscribe to the channel, man. Leave a comment, like the video. Check out the membership button below or join us on Patreon. I love all you bros. Alright, let's get right into this with the oft-requested Mazzy True Sword Paladin. Dude, this is the Paladin. 1 red, green, and white, legendary creature, halfling knight. It's a 3/4. Whenever an enchanted creature attacks one of your opponents, it gets +2/+0, gains trample until end of turn. Whenever an aura you control is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, exile it. Till the end of your next turn, you may cast that card. Alright, let's be honest here, man. This looks like Willow's twin sister, and that's a whole genre of adult videos I know nothing about. Alright, if the FBI asks. The first ability is great with those red gold auras. The sound of drums. You got Neil Peart up in your dome, dude. Shiny impetus. Go get your impetus, brother. How about this guy? Redemption Arc. 2 and a white for an enchantment or enchant creature. Enchanted creature has indestructible and is goaded. Has 1 and a white, exile enchanted creature. Get your opponent's stuff slapping and flapping in the dark of a noir detective story. That second ability is insane card advantage on Mazi. It really mitigates the downside of auras, the card disadvantage when they get murked. Paired this with cost reducers like Danitha Capuchin, because you're casting those cards from exile. And since you're casting from exile, you can include some payoffs like Meatloaf here, the old now Feshni. Remember Meatloaf from Fight Club, dude? Yeah, you do, man. You also have all the colors for enchantresses like Eidolon Blossoms. Mazi is a very powerful commander. Don't sleep on the sexy dwarf, alright? You're gonna regret it, dude. Trust me. It's not the first time I've heard those words. Now we're gonna go off the beaten path in a minute, but I wanted to mention Galia, Kindler of Hope. So this is 1 green, white, and a blue. Legendary creature, elf knight. It's a 4/4 with vigilance. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast aura and equipment spells from the top of your library. When you cast an equipment spell this way, it gains when this equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. Now I think this guy, or lady, tough to tell from the art and in the armor, is pretty rad, dude. You've got all the colors for an aura commander, but it's probably more interesting as an equipment commander due to cheating equip costs. I just wanted to mention this card because I think it's really good. Doesn't get enough love, man. So here you go, Galia. Here's your flowers. Now we're getting back to true aura domination with Light Paws, Emperor's Voice. 1 and a white, legendary creature, Fox Advisor. It's a 2/2. Whenever an aura you control enters, if you cast it, you may search your library for an aura card with mana value less than or equal to that aura and with a different name than each aura you control. It's commander deck, not a big deal. Put that card onto the battlefield attached to Light Paws, then shuffle. If this is built right, man, this is incredibly powerful. You have cards like All That Glitters, glittering in the night, like David Bowie, dude. You're gonna pump and you're gonna stack protection. You stack cards like Unquestioned Authority, make your commander very difficult to block, hopefully immune from targeting. It's a diesel deck I built once, took apart because it's so linear, but Light Paws also goes great in a bunch of the decks we're talking about here, including Mazi. Now, if you cast a card like Pacifism, right, or some other enchantment-based interaction, you can tutor up what you want with those restrictions and put it on the Light Paws. It's worth mentioning there. If you have cards with flash, like Benevolent Blessing, you go search something nasty to put on Light Paws in response to some targeted removal. That ability to tutor, even though it's so restricted, it can be super consistent and super nasty, dude. I love this guy. Alright, let's go off the beaten path for a bit. Ramses Assassin Lord is an awesome aura commander, 2 blue and a black, legendary creature, human assassin. It's a 4/4 with death touch. Other assassins you control get +1/+1, but this is the important part. Whenever a player loses the game, if they were attacked this turn by an assassin you controlled, you win the game. Well, guess what, dude? Ramses is an assassin. Why butcher an army when you can slash a single throat for the same result? This card was like 15 cents forever, suddenly became a monster when Assassin's Creed came out. It's up to $5. Everybody got real interested in this guy then, man. I did a $50 budget deck that ended up having about 24 enchantments. This guy's Voltron all the way, man. I think he was the only creature in the deck. Might have had one other. This makes such a nasty aura Voltron commander precisely because you only need one guy, and you only need to take out one guy with commander damage. Concentrate on protection and pump. The name of the game, it's my favorite R&B act out of the 80s too, protection and pump, man. Love this card. Of course, Glistening Oil, Phyresis are in there. Get that infect going strong, brother. Round it out with the Umbras. You have some evasion in there too. Helm of the Gas Lord, stuff like that. Octopus Umbra is absolutely effective in this deck. I also packed it with counter spells because our dude is a target, man. Check out the deck list. Hasn't gone up all that much in the intervening years. It's only like 50 some odd dollars. Also a great thing about auras, man. They're dirt cheap. Oh yeah, Auramancer's Guise is in there too. Get Ramsay super big, man, just like old Nicky G. Now this one's a little off the beaten path too. Ivy, Gleeful Spell Thief, green and blue, legendary creature Fairy Rogue. It's a 2/1 with flying. Whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, you may copy that spell and the copy targets Ivy. So you get some incidental value from your opponents, but you can lean on spells in this instance and sorceries, but I went with auras, man. Auras target on the stack. The value on this is nuts. Get some evasive 1-drops, 2-drops out there, start copying auras, man. And there's a couple sleepers in this deck like Corrupted Conscience, 3 blue, enchantment aura, enchant creature. You control enchanted creature. Enchanted creature has infect. So you grab some of your opponent's big fatties out there, you grab it. But wait, dude, this target's on the stack and satisfied Ivy's first ability, giving your flying commander infect. That's fantastic, man. Now this is a similar card that's super underplayed, Hypnotic Siren. 1 blue mana, enchantment creature, Siren, it's a 1/1, has flying and bestow for 5 blue. You control enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has flying. So this can be your little evasive creature turn 1, or you can cast it later for its aura cost. Thing's under a quarter, man. Now I'd be lying if I said I never followed a Siren off a cliff, you know what I'm saying? But she's got those ankles, man. Check out those ankles, dude. Showing a little belly button under those feathers, buddy. Now Ivy is also a great deck to get into mutate shenanigans. Take the old Starix out here for example, dude. If you cast the spell for its mutate cost, put it over or under target non-human creature you own. They mutate into the creature on top plus all the abilities from under it. Huge power boost for your commander. So you got this flying 6/6 out there plus whatever auras you have on it. Mutate is such a stupid ability, man. I'm glad it exists. But pack some Excedrin when you make a mutate deck because it's a headache, man. Anyways, Ivy is phenomenal. Check out this hunk out there, Elev of the Wild Court, 2 green and a white, legendary creature, human knight, it's a 4/4. When this thing enters or attacks, create a virtuous roll token attached to another target creature you control. So this thing, enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control? Come on, dude. Whenever an enchanted creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So this guy is mega powerful. Elev is in perfect colors just to run auras and payoffs and bring his own auras to the table. And not just some crappy roll token, a huge pump that pays off all those auras you're plopping down. This guy helms his own precon, so there's a solid place to start right there. I did do an upgrade on it. You can find the deck list in the description. All it really needed was some utility creatures, some protection auras like we talked about with Light Paws. Very powerful commander, and looks like one of the little rascals out there, if you guys remember that from the 1950s. This draws so many cards, refills your hand if you include utility creatures like Sithis, Verdurn, Enchantress out there. Alright, one more off-the-wall aura slapper, the Howling Abomination, aka Blanca from Street Fighter. This guy's 3 red and a green, legendary creature, human beast warrior, has haste. It's a 5/5. This guy is trample as long as you've cast 3 or more spells this turn. Whenever this guy becomes the target of a spell, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn and deals 2 damage to each opponent. I missed the more bestial Street Fighter 2 version, dude. He was a little more serious. Street Fighter 6 Blanca looks a little too close to some people I know for comfort, dude. Looks like a dude I know who played banjo in one of the bands I was in. Anyways, man, this guy with cheap auras like Alpha Authority, right? Enchanted creature has hexproof, can't be blocked by more than one creature. Fantastic. Canopy cover, keen sense. All these little auras stick around and give permanent buffs to go with our dude's temporary buff. He's swinging in, man. He's swinging hard. He's aura Voltroning people out of the game. This deck can be built cheaper than a pair of Walmart sneakers. My list leans further into spells, but auras are perfectly viable for this guy as well. Anyways, man, I just wanted to give you guys a little taste of aura commanders because people have been asking, and I got deck lists for most of these guys as well. you're out there living your best life, you need an aura commander that's cheap as heck, man. I can tell you, because there's so many compliments in the comments, dude. I can tell you that you guys are fantastic. It's like a damn affirmation circle down there. Say hi, brother. You're good enough. You're smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like you. Nikki G, Better Commander, signing off.